the top 5 weapons in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I got the list right here, guys. This is in order of what I believe the best weapons are in the game, starting at number 5, where the weapon isn't as good as the other ones on the list, and going down to number 1, where I believe that is the best weapon for many different situations. Let me know what your favorite weapon is down in the comments below, guys. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if you're one of those people who use the 725, don't use the 725, please. For the love of God, don't use that weapon. But if it is your favorite weapon, just comment it anyways, man. I'm sure someone out there everyone loves this gun, man. I hate it. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 most overpowered weapons, and I'm gonna be giving you guys a best class setup for every single one. If you guys could drop a like on this video, that would be truly appreciated. That would be really awesome. If you guys could subscribe with those notifications turned on as well, I would really love that. We're getting super close to 500,000 subscribers, and it's mind-blowing, it's unbelievable, and whatever. Let's just start the list right here at the number 5 spot, and that is the Kilo 141 assault rifle. This gun is an absolute beast. You unlock this gun super early within the game. Like, it's probably one of the first guns you could unlock, and it's such a good weapon to use. And if you make the proper class for this, you guys are going to see that it is such a fun weapon. So the OP class that we got for this one right here, we're going to start off with the optic, which is the GI Mini Reflex. Now, the only thing that this does is it gives you a negative ADS speed, which kind of sucks in terms of negatives. You don't want your ADS speed to be bad, but this sight right here is kind of needed on this weapon. It makes those long shots super easy, and it also makes those close quarter shots super easy. There's some sights you use in the game where it kind of ruins the closeness of the weapon. It kind of like, it just looks really damn ugly, but this one is probably the nicest one. GI Mini Reflex, love it. Stock, you're gonna run the no stock attachment. This gives you ADS speed, which we need because of the optic, and it gives you movement speed, but it does take away some aiming stability and recoil control, which this gun doesn't have too much, so you don't gotta worry about that. The underbarrel, we're gonna run Commando foregrip, which gives you recoil stabilization and aiming stability. The reason I threw this attachment on is because the no stock takes it away, so this one kind of balances it out, but it does have a negative movement speed, which doesn't really matter because our movement speed is already so much faster without the stock. Next off, you want to run a rear grip, and I like to run the stippled grip tape. This gives you an ADS speed and a sprint to fire speed, and it only takes away the aiming stability, which is really damn good in my opinion. Now, this is my favorite rear grip in the entire game. Anytime you guys have a chance to use it, go ahead and throw it on your class. It's a really damn good one. And the last thing we're going to be running on this one right here is the barrel, which is the SynGuard Arms 16.6 SOCOM. Now, this barrel right here is pretty damn good. It gives you damage range, it gives you bullet velocity, and it gives you recoil control, and it only takes away some of your ADS speed. So I feel like that's a very good trade. That is one trade you definitely want to make. You get to kill people further, your bullets travel further and faster, and the recoil control is insane, and it only takes probably 0.4 milliseconds fast or longer to aim down sight. So that's what I really like about that one. The next one we're going to be going on to is the number 4, and that is the P90. In the P90, we're going to run a laser, which is going to be the TAC laser. This used to be my favorite SMG until I unlocked, well, you guys are going to see later on the list, but it used to be one of my favorite SMGs, still is. It's such a great weapon, and that's why it still made it onto the list. But anyways, the TAC laser gives you ADS speed, gives you aiming stability, and gives you aim walking steadiness, which it only makes your laser visible. So it gives you 3 positives, and with the laser being visible, I don't really see that fully as a negative, to be honest with you guys. I feel like with your laser visible, you could kind of bait the enemies to you and stuff like that. Next off, you guys want to run a stock, and that I like to run the fly strap. Now, this one gives a sprint to fire speed, and it gives you aim walking movement speed. So I really have to say it's really damn good to have sprint to fire speed. You always want to have that, and it only takes away some aiming stability. Next off, we got a barrel, which is the Forge TAC Retribution. This gives you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, and it only takes away some ADS and movement speed. After that, we're going to go ahead and throw on the rear grip, which obviously, guys, it has to be the stippled grip tape. It gives you ADS and sprint to fire speed just like the other one did, and it only takes away some aiming stability. Now, for the last attachment, we're not going to run an attachment per se, but we will run a perk, and that is going to be sleight of hand, so you could always reload faster. Always good to reload faster in certain situations. Going to number 3, the middle of the list, we got the M4A1. Now, this class, this gun, no matter how many times they nerf it, it's still going to be overpowered. It's still going to be one of the better guns in the game to use, and it is. So for this one, we got the barrel stock M16, and this is probably the best barrel you can run on it. It gives you damage range, gives you bullet velocity, and recoil control. Now, your movement speed is a little slower, and your ADS speed is a little slower as well, but that doesn't matter. Next off, we got the laser which we're gonna run the tac laser. Now the tac laser gives you ADS speed, gives you aiming stability, and gives you aim walking steadiness. This one's really good. So your aiming stability and aim walking steadiness, your gun's barely gonna be moving when you're aiming down sights, and you could aim down sights pretty fast. And again, the only negative to this one is the fact that your laser is visible. Going on to the optic, like I said before, man, the GI Mini Reflex is the optic I choose to use for assault rifles, and this one, all it does is it takes away your ADS speed, but it gives you a precision sight picture, which is really damn good to have. And like I said, man, this is probably the best one in my personal opinion. Going to another attachment, we got the underbarrel, which is gonna be the Commando foregrip. This gives you recoil, okay. This gives you recoil stabilization and aiming stability, and it does take away some movement speed, but you guys can see this class right here in game. It doesn't even look that bad, to be honest. After that, we're gonna run a grip tape, which is the granulated grip tape. So I did change out the grip tape in this one, but this one gives you aiming stability and aim walking steadiness, which I feel since we already got other attachments that give that, it might as well add a little more to it. So we got 3 attachments in total that give aiming stability on this, and I believe 2 attachments in total that give aim walking steadiness. So this gun is it's a laser. Just look at the gameplay. This gun is a laser. Going down to number 2, guys, we got the MP5 SMG. So this one is such a great weapon. The second I unlocked this, even without attachments, I fell in love with it, and with attachments, it just makes it so much better. So for this one, you're going to want to run a barrel, which is going to be the FS or FFS light. I was going to say FSS. I don't know. These things are so confusing. These attachments have weird names, okay? The FFS light, which gives you ADS speed, but it does take away some bullet velocity, which is not something you necessarily want on an SMG, but it just works for this class. You guys, you watch the gameplay in the background, it just works. Next off, we got a laser, which is the 5MW laser. This gives you hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. Like I said, sprint to fire speed is super important. You never want to get caught off guard, and it only makes your laser visible. But like I told you guys earlier, whenever your laser is visible, use it as bait. Let the enemies come to you. When you're running an SMG, you're gonna win those close quarters, so let the enemies pop up to you and try to kill them, and you could just drop them super fast. The next attachment is gonna be stock, which we're gonna use a Forge Tac Ultralight. This gives you aim walking movement speed, and it does take away some aiming stability because you are walking and moving so fast. It's obviously gonna take away some of the stability, but once you get used to it, man, you don't have to worry whatsoever. Going to another attachment, we got an underbarrel, which is gonna be the Commando foregrip. You guys can see I kind of like the Commando foregrip a lot, and I don't know what it is, but this is the 3rd class with it. And this one gives you recoil stabilization and aiming stability, and obviously takes away some movement speed. And for the last attachment on this class, we're going to run the rear grip granulated grip tape, which gives you aiming stability, aim walking steadiness, but it does take away some aim walking movement speed, which, I mean, whatever, right? This gun, you do feel a little slower than the gun on the number 1 part of this list, but it's still a great what am I saying today? Gun. Going down to number 1, we got my literal favorite weapon in the game. You guys could probably guess this already if you've watched my last recent videos. It's probably the only gun I'm using lately, and it's for a good cause, and that is the MP7 SMG. This gun is insane. Any Call of Duty that has this weapon, it's my go-to, man. So this class right here, I love it. This one is insane. It drops people fast. It's a laser, and you can even get those long shots on people using ARs with this class. So what you want to run first is the barrel FSS Recon, which gives you damage range, which is probably why you can draw people at long range. It gives you bullet velocity, and it gives you recoil control, but it does take away some ADS and movement speed. Next off, we got the laser, which I'm going to run the 5MW laser. This gives you the hip fire accuracy and the sprint to fire speed, but it does make that laser visible. So the hip fire accuracy on this weapon, dude, you don't even miss a bullet. Like, they all connect. They just all connect. I don't know how, but it works. Going to the underbarrel, we got the Commando foregrip. This is the 4th class with that. So the recoil stabilization and aiming stability are positive, but the movement speed is a negative. The last 2 attachments, one of them is going to be the stippled grip tape for the rear grip, which gives you ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. So we got already 2 attachments on this class that give us sprint to fire speed, and it works. It does take away some aiming stability, and the perk sleight of hand, so that you guys can obviously reload faster. So those are the top 5 weapons that I love to use within this game. These are my go-to weapons. These are the most overpowered classes I could make for these weapons as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and let me know what your favorite weapon is in the game as well. If you guys made it this far into the video, might as well drop a huge like. I would truly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel with the notifications turned on. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.